Hi, thank you. Hayato, Tobias, Anna, and Alex. Thank you very much. My name is Dean Stevenson. This is 4 p.m. Thank you and welcome for being here. Thank you for coming. The bar is open if you want to sit for a bit and have a drink whilst we play today's piece, which wasn't the one you just heard. That was from day 195, which was the 195th day that I've been in here at the museum writing a piece. I'm just describing it for those who have no idea what's going on. Today is yet to be heard. They haven't played it yet. I haven't heard it. You haven't heard it. So we're going to do it all together and we'll learn what it's like. Today is day 320. That's how many... Thank you. That's how many days the page starts blank. And then courage notes upon the page and... we're about to hear it. I think everyone on site today's got a real kind of like cruising slow in Top Gear kind of vibe. And I went up had to have some lunch today, and there was that great Donna Hayes. Is she here? That Atmos, DJ Atmos. She was great. It was just this really cruisy vibe, and I thought, I'm going to do that. Yeah. So that's what I've done. Something really kind of droney and nice. Well, I don't know. It was nice. I haven't heard it yet. Could be complete and utter crap. But that's kind of the idea of 4 p.m. This whole installation is the conversation about creativity and how we don't whatever you do, look at me and go, oh well, that's a guy who's born under a special star. That's why he does that. You know, he's probably goes home and listens to Mozart. No, I'll probably play the Chili Peppers on the way home. I spent 20 years in pubs playing drums. I'm not classically trained. I don't even play the piano. I certainly don't play any of these fine instruments. I just didn't want to have to lug a drum kit out of a pub at 1 a.m. for the rest of my life. So this seems to be a gentrification that's working well for me. So this is about creativity and the spirit of making something and not always having to have a reason. Not always having to hold an image or have a lightning bolt that gives you something to do every day. Because then you have to go, oh, well, I've got a reason. And if you don't have a reason, then you won't do anything. You won't show up and do anything. And you might get a reason once a year. And in the meantime, the other 364 days, you're not on the tools. So when lightning comes and you finally face your canvas or your dance studio or your manuscript, you don't have any tools left because you left them in the drawer for when lightning strikes. Well, I thought I'd just show up every day. And some days make a complete dick of myself. And write and make pieces of music that I hope no one ever hears ever again. Sometimes we've got through a piece, right? And I say to the quartet, well, should we do it again? And they go, no. No, it's okay, all right, okay, good. But let's see what today's like. You've just heard one. We'll get through today's relatively quickly. I don't know. We'll do a rehearsal, so we'll stop and start whilst they have some questions. And maybe you will too. Throw questions up. I'll come back to you and we'll have a bit of a chat, an open chat about what today is about. And then maybe we'll play yesterday's as well, if we get time, because to give you a bit of context as to the way things go. Cool with that? All right, so prepare yourself. I mean, ask the person, especially if you're on a table with someone you've never met, ask them, like, what kind of question would you ask? Like, how weird is this for you? Try and generate some chats about creativity and stuff so we can have a chat. All right, we're going to get going now on day 320. 320, is that an auspicious number?
Yes.
Is it? Totally. Okay. The dreaded andante. Gee, I wrote a lot of those. So it starts cello and viola, lots of repetition there, lots of double stops, nice and cruisy. The violin parts kind of have different things going on, but somehow I hope they meet in the middle of it. There's some real ensemble bits, but mostly it's just this big kind of reverb tank, I think. All right, let's just give it a shot. Nice and long. 3. Those glitch notes, yeah, really quick and yeah, that's it. Yes. Give it some juice now. Is that a C? Little interrupting glitch notes, everyone's got them. D. Here we go. And hold there, hold there. All right. That was sight read straight off the page. Very. And the moment they're going, yeah, we can do that. It's easy. Like the 2 days ago, it's like I got a mouthful of notes and just went on the page. Play that, you buggers. And they did. Okay, right. So that's going well so far. Now they have a sense, you have a sense, I have a sense of what it's like, how the bits connect. There's a different bit coming up again. Any questions, or having a bit early for questions? It's okay, I'll come back to you. We'll keep working on this. Any questions from you? Probably, I think if it was to go that speed, it either needs, I don't know, what does it need, like more volume or fatness or something? Because I think it could easily kind of start to drag and... Yeah,
like whether you want it to be that idea at that one tempo the whole time, or whether you do want it to become faster.
To push,
and
yeah. I think once we get through the form, I might leave that to you musically to decide. I'm not necessarily engaged one way or the other. I wrote it kind of as a drone, sort of as a simple thing that goes all the way through. When it comes like to get to that majory bit, like we just played in at E, it might rush a little bit there. And with those, may give them a little bum, but also maybe not always quite so, almost like little kind of, not arrhythmic, but a little bit freer, so it sounds like there's kind of something kind of going wrong, deliberately.
Let's
go from...
At B?
At B, yeah.
Maybe at B we could sort of crescendo into B
Yes, true.
So, but I felt it be sort of felt like it could go further.
Yes,
there
yes,
as
yes.
well.
Crescendo would be a good
Yeah,
question,
it
yes.
could
Yes, please. Crescendo. Okay. Let's go from letter D then, please. From D onwards. Maybe just up just a little click without it sounding urgent. Right there. E. Listen to G. More volume here. Give some at H. Here we go. And push into four. Here we go. An I. Right. J. Get altitude sickness up here. Two bars to go. Okay. There we go. Someone's going to ask, does your mood affect? Yes, it does, clearly. Some days, some days it's about, I want to write something that's really like running as hard as it can. Other days I know I feel really sleepy and lazy and I have to write a hard piece to keep myself on the ball, and vice versa. Some days you're just like really skiddy and I'm going to write something like that to calm myself down. Other than that, there's not a lot of inspiration apart from just showing up and just kind of in the morning just start to play. Three notes. There you go. That'd be enough for an hour. Just do that for an hour, and then drive you crazy, wouldn't it? But then eventually, like it'll grow into something else. A fourth note will come in, and a fifth note, and then there's a spot of light. Follow that, and then sometimes that's how it goes. That's it. That's what inspiration is. Right. Any questions from you?
Yeah. Is that the sort of colour and mood that you want?
I think it could easily sound. I don't want it to sound like somber and sad. Yeah, it needs to sort of have a kind of, which is why I talk about the tempo, just a little bit more purpose to it.
Well, especially at the end, you know, there's a lot of held notes that are quite soft.
Yes.
Like what sort of?
At the
soft
end, I
notes? Is it
think
like
like
a
it's
still, or-
when you're right up there soaring up high and above.
Yeah.
That's like just a texture up there. I think yada yada. There's nothing gloomy or sad or minor or there's nothing. What's the word? Monstrous about that. It's very nice. Just like a calm breath at the end of that, like an exhaustion more than a menace. Yeah.
Cool. Is that tempo okay? as
Tempo's fine. No, maybe just a touch. Give it a little bit more, a little up a little bit to give this kind of the dance between the first two violin parts a bit of a go. Okay.
Could potentially move it sort of in between B and then sort of bring
Yes,
it back
yes.
again.
Yep. And when we get to the
Down or something.
yes, like C da da dee da da. That section at E. Give that some more. E and I. Yep. E and I. Give that some more.
EI.
EI. Any got any questions? Yes, over the back there. I feel like you'd know, like if you had one art form every day, there's a bit of you in it all the time. You can't escape yourself. So there's always that. There's always things that I write that I like to write, rhythms that I like, tempos that I like, harmonies that I like. They're always going to sound a bit the same, especially if the musicians come in consecutive days and go, yeah, this sounds like yesterday. But I do try to make it different because I want to explore myself. But inevitably I am me. And also sometimes there are really only so many combinations of notes that I'm yet aware of. And so I just kind of keep making some of the same combos, maybe try and change the speed in order to disguise that. Or sometimes my memory just forgets where things come from. And I'll write something and like turn around and go, that's a good one, isn't it? And the crowd goes, yeah, mate, that's the theme from Jurassic Park. Oh, fuck, yeah, right. Okay, all right. You know, it comes out eventually. There are only so many things. Right, any questions? And we're going to, yes? I do know, because these guys have to be rostered quite far out because they're very busy people. It's always a string quartet. It's always a string quartet to make it difficult rather than reduce the variety, increases the challenge. Yes? How do I pace myself? I'll come in the morning and throw some ideas down. Like it's just dust of ideas. But then at some point I have to go to lunch, leave the building to forget it. So I come back from lunch and go, well, I can't remember any of it. And then like, oh, that wasn't good at all. And so if I sat in the same chair, it would be hard to keep perspective on it. So I just go outside to get perspective. But also on the way in, I can't listen to music. If I played the Village People on the way in, I'd write it in because musicians have sticky ears, and I'll just put whatever I hear into it. Yes. There's no determined length. It's just whatever gets written. The length is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Whatever I get done. Yeah, that's the only duration. How do I concentrate in here? Yeah. I wear noise-cancelling headphones to kind of get rid of the rumble. I ended up putting this little frequently asked questions thing because otherwise people come and go, excuse me, what time are you playing? Wow. So just to try and stay focused, I had to do that. Yeah, I kind of get used to it. And also I'm quite close to the screen, so it's a matter of getting rid of everything. Yes, it does play, but it's a terrible pro. It's like, me. It's a violin, me. It's awful. But the reason I have to have it kind of play it back to me is because I can, like you see on the screen, that's what I've written, full parts with, moving parts, blah, 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 blah. If that was condensed into a piano part, I am completely unable to play it. I'm not a trained piano player. I don't have the skills to do it. So I need to be able to check the rhythms in time because I can't play all these together. So it gives me the rhythm. If I start with the melody, the rest of it follows pretty quick, and vice versa. They all have to kind of keep going at the same time. Because if I did, It's like writing one person's story about what they think and then going back to the beginning and now, where were they again? Were they in the country, in the city, in a swimming pool, underground? And you kind of forget what the environment was. And it's important to change that along the way. Like, my favourite way to explain that is to tell you, this afternoon when I'm finished here, I'm going to go to the beach because I love going to the beach. Now, Alex, would you mind playing me the theme from Jaws? When I'm finished here today, I'm going to go to the beach. I love going to the beach. Right? Right? See what you can do? So you've got to kind of be monitoring that stuff all the way along. Otherwise, you go to people and say, "Oh, was he on the beach? No, he was at home. I've forgotten." Yeah. Okay, let's play today's. You don't need me anymore, do you? No. I'm going to sit over here and talk to people. This is day 320, top to tail. Hayato, Tobias, Anna, Alex. And now for a bit of contrast, although it's another kind of slowy one. We'll play Yesterday's. It's has a bit more melody and movement, but it's another nice piece. If anyone wants to come and have a chat, well, one thing I'd like to say is that, this is not a sales pitch, but it kind of is. There's an album at 4 p.m. You can buy it as a CD and or a download, whatever's. But it's got 16 tracks on it. 16 out of 320s, it's not a big hit rate. So that just I think, to how often you get stuff. Yeah, how often you're happy with stuff, as opposed to, popping a diamond every day. Doesn't work. You don't do it. So anyway, there's an album you can get from me here or upstairs. And just to hammer it home, just to really, tell the story, the first 150 days here, at the end of every day I'd write a diary. So, like a clever bloke, I'm publishing them. So there you go. There's a book there with 11 hours of music, all the live recordings through that book as well. So if you really want to track the journey of creativity, I've published the book. Just because I like the chat about what can and can't be done and what it costs you and how it feels good. So there you go. All those things available for you. Come and have a chat later. Here is Yesterday's piece, day 319.
How fast did it?
Hayato, Tobias, Anna, Alex. Hey. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're going to do today's piece one more time because it might be the last time it's ever played. Tomorrow, start again. So then we're going to come and have a chat on the way out. The group will play it, and thank you for coming to 4 p.m. You've been very attentive. Thank you. Come and have a chat with me.